Hey, sir, this is just a wild guess, just a shot out of the blue, but might you be a vampire? I'm alright with that. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir du Vide, and today I'd like to play a game called The Eyes Embrace. It's early afternoon at Evergreen Hill University. It's only your first semester on the small campus, having moved here to attend the school. The town the college sits in is much smaller than your hometown. There's really only one main street, and the most interesting talking point with most students is a small creek that runs through the campus. It's lovingly called Trash Creek, due to the large amount of furniture and trash that's dumped there. Aww. Other than scavenging at the creek and the college's sports teams, there's not much to do in this small town. While you were initially excited to get away from the hustle and bustle of a big city, you've realized pretty quickly this small town is, well, pretty boring. It's so boring that you don't even realize you're zoning out until you notice you've been staring at your dorm wall. You were even so bored, you almost forgot your own name. Of course, your name is... My name is Espoir. It means hope in French. Right, your name is Espoir. You were working on homework before you zoned out. Looking down at your desk, there's a stack of papers that are due next week. Some English, some math, nothing interesting. Luckily, midterms just ended, so you can take a little bit of a break with your work. You definitely need the rest, after how brutal the tests were. Besides, who could blame you for daydreaming? There's no way you could focus on homework on a day like today. In just a few long hours, you'll be going to a concert with your best friend. After moving here, you bumped into a timid man on campus named Axel. He didn't seem to have many friends, and neither did you, so you took the chance and asked him to hang out. Turns out, you have a lot in common. He's not the best at keeping up a conversation, but he's an amazing listener. For example, when you mentioned your favorite band was releasing a brand new album, Axel managed to snag 2 tickets to the closest concert. You've always wanted to see Bloodthirsty Love Affair live, and Axel's finally making your dream come true. It really surprised you, too. Tickets were extremely hard to come by, now that the band was starting to become popular. Axel didn't seem to be a big crowds guy, either. On days when he doesn't have classes, you never see him on campus or in town. Even so, he's been nothing but extremely kind since you met him. Inviting you to a concert with him has really solidified him in your top spot of being your best friend in this tiny town. Considering he's so kind-hearted, it's strange that he doesn't seem to have any other friends. Still, with how shy he is, it's probably just hard for him to talk to people. You check your phone to see if Axel has texted you yet. He said he would once he arrived at the dorms to pick you up, while he was attending the college. He didn't live on campus like you did. No text from Axel yet, but it's already nearly time for him to pick you up. You should probably start getting ready. It doesn't take long for you to get dressed. You make sure to wear your favorite t-shirt from BLA, wanting to show off your love for the band. You pack a small bag of things to take with you, your wallet, your ID, some earplugs, a water bottle, and a small knife. You'll have to leave the knife in Axel's car when you get there, but it's still a safe bet to bring it with you. Checking your phone again, it's about 20 minutes past when Axel said he would get here. Hopefully he's not too late. It's going to take a while to drive to the next town over. You decide to mess around on your phone, checking out what people are posting about the tour so far online. Apparently, some people are really enjoying it, someone even going so far to get an autograph tattooed and posting about it online. After nearly 10 more minutes of anxious waiting, you finally get a text from Axel. Sorry for the wait. I had some last-minute prep for the concert I had to take care of. I'm here in front of the dorms. You immediately jump up and grab your bag, not even texting him back as you nearly sprint out of your room. You can't wait for this concert. This is going to be so fun. Why do I have a feeling something terrible is going to happen? Oh, hello. Idling in front of the dorms is a small, dingy car that looks like it could fall apart at any minute. Inside is the familiar face of Axel, who meets your gaze as soon as you open the door. You eagerly climb into his car, giving a small wave before buckling yourself in. Hey Axel, you ready for a night you'll never forget? I still can't believe you've never been to a concert before. Axel puts the car into drive and begins to pull away from the campus, headed down the main road and towards the only way out of town. I'm really nervous, honestly, but this will definitely be a night I won't forget. Exactly! You really need to branch out, buddy. Who knows? If all goes well, maybe I can get concert tickets next time. I can't even imagine how much these must have cost you. Axel seems hesitant to answer. Looking at him closer, he almost looks more anxious than usual. It makes sense, seeing as how he's not the greatest with people. He's really getting out of his comfort zone tonight. So no wonder he's so nervous. You reach out and put a hand on his shoulder, trying to calm him down. Hey, take a breath, Axel. It's just a concert. You're gonna be okay. Axel takes a breath at your request. It seems to help a little, so you pull your hand back away. I finally got a CD of Bloodthirsty Love Affair's new album. It should be in the center console, if you want to listen to it on the way there. You perk up at the offer, easily finding the CD and popping it into the car's CD player. The sweet cacophony of electric guitar and harsh drums quickly begins to fill the car. You can't help but tap your foot along to the beat, excited for a wild night, raging along to music like this. Not only is Axel's car so old that it doesn't have a way to connect a phone to the radio, but Axel doesn't even have a phone with Bluetooth. When you first asked for his number, you were surprised he pulled out an old flip phone. Aww, he's so old-fashioned sometimes, but then again, he does live out in the middle of nowhere. He's told you before he doesn't really use the internet very often, so why have a fancy phone? Besides, it's a little endearing that he makes his own little mixtapes to play when you guys hang out. Maybe sometime you should make him a CD, as thanks for taking you to this concert. As you finally pull up to the end of the road and out of town, the path splits two ways. Despite not being from this town, you're surprised when Axel takes a hard left. The way to the closest big city from here is to the right. When heading back home for a weekend, you made the mistake of turning left once and nearly got lost in the woods. You were lucky to find your way back then, since you easily lose your cell reception once out of town. Axel! Axel! Axie-poo! Just you being a little bit sus. Hey, Axel, why are we going this way? Are we supposed to be going the other way? Axel doesn't answer right away. Something feels off. There's a shortcut through the woods that can get us there faster. The other way is a clear path, but is a lot longer of a drive. The woods are easy to get lost in, but I know the way by heart. You hesitate for a moment before you choose to believe Axel. Of course he would know all the shortcuts around here. He grew up in this town, after all. Why would he lie to you? You sit in silence for a while, occasionally singing along to the music, or watching the trees pass by through the window. Axel is being deathly silent. You don't want to push him to talk, but your stomach turns a bit, this time with nervous anxiety. Axel, I love the tunes, but is everything okay? Yeah, I'm fine, just nervous. After about 20 minutes of tense driving, Axel pulls over to the side of the road. Your heart beats fast in your chest as he puts the car in park and turns off the engine, turning to face you. He opens his mouth to speak, but doesn't say a word. He looks about as nervous as you do. Before he can say anything, he closes his mouth again, looking down at his lap. You decide to speak up first. Axel, please tell me what's going on. Why'd you pull over? It takes a minute for Axel to meet your gaze. I'm sorry things have to be this way, Espoir. Sir? Axel moves to reach for something under his seat. Accept your fate. I want to know what it is. I want to know what it is. I want to know if this is a horror fake-out or not. You're in the middle of nowhere, with no idea how to get back to town, and you likely have no service on your phone. Whatever Axel's going to do to you, you doubt you can stop him. Your shoulders slump in defeat as you give up and accept your fate. You watch him pull out a small... Betrayal! You watch him pull out a little Ziploc bag with a rag inside of it from under the seat. How dare you! You really did trust him.
No! Axel, no!
Whatever you're going to do to me, just... please, don't hurt me, Axel. Axel only looks more upset at the mention of him hurting you. I don't want to hurt you. I'm just going to press this against your nose, that's all. It won't hurt. It'll just make you really tired. A little dizzy, maybe. Just let it happen, okay? It's strange to hear him pleading with you like this. His voice sounds so strained, like he doesn't want to be doing this. It only makes your stomach turn more with unease. If I do, will you take me back to the dorms? Axel doesn't answer. He simply opens the bag, pulling out the rag and bringing it close to your face. It smells sweet. It burns at your nostrils and makes you feel like gagging, even if it smells rather pleasant. Just like Axel said, you began to feel dizzy.
How dare you, Axel? You're lucky I chose to put down the hands this one time, but oh boy.
The world blurs around you, and your eyes land on Axel's face. He looks so... You pass out.
Axel, how could you do this to me? I trusted you. We're gonna miss the concert. I think the concert tickets were a lie.
You wake up in an unfamiliar room. As you begin to sit up, you immediately recognize that your clothes are different. Instead of your comfortable band t-shirt and skinny jeans, you're instead wearing something much more stiff and uncomfortable. Looking down at yourself, you seem to be dressed in... a black dress shirt with ruffles down the front, a black vest, and some fitted dark slacks. Or a long black lace dress, complete with long black velvet gloves. As much as I absolutely adore wearing handsome man clothes, I want to wear that dress. I want to wear a big, pretty, lacy dress. As you stand, you notice a mirror across the room. Looking at yourself in the mirror, you're unnerved at how well those clothes fit you. Something about it is a bit morbid. It's almost like you're dressed for a funeral. Once you finish giving yourself a thorough look in the mirror, you decide to inspect the room you're in. You'd rather not think about the last thing you remember happening. Much better to focus on the present, and on getting out of here, wherever here is. Not gonna lie, here seems like a situation I would love to find myself in, aside from any of the, whole being drugged by my best friend. You were almost my best friend, Axel. The first thing you notice is a small folded piece of paper on the nightstand by the bed you awoke from. Esteemed guest, you are cordially invited to a feast in celebration of your arrival. Please take the time to freshen up before joining us in the dining hall. Indecent appearance will not be tolerated. When you are ready, please proceed down the hall. To the left. Attendance is mandatory. No need to knock. We are expecting you. Kind regards, Bram. I can't read cursive because I'm a millennial.
They don't know how to read cursive.
The handwriting is unfamiliar to you. Looks like this note was written by some Bram Vespertine. Cool. I've never heard that name before. You place the note back down on the nightstand. Looking about the room, it seems there are two doors. One is open and leads to a small attached restroom. The other door is closed, but probably leads to a hallway, as per the note. On one of the walls is a small window. Looking outside, it's hard to see much of anything. It's dark. You don't know how long you've been asleep, but it must have been a while. The only thing you can really make out is the tree line of what must be the forests and the moon, nearly full in the sky. For a moment, you briefly debate smashing the window and making a break for it. That's probably a terrible idea. Yeah. Your stomach rumbles at the thought of actually attending whatever feast you've been invited to. Slowly, you make your way to the small bathroom. You splash some water on your face, feeling a little more awake once you do so. You take a moment to clean yourself up, then return to the standing mirror in the bedroom to make sure you look presentable. For a moment, you just stand there and stare at yourself. Everything still feels incredibly unreal, like you're in some sort of bad dream. No matter how hard you try, you aren't waking up. With a sigh, you finally creak the door to this room open. Peeking outside, there's a long hallway in front of you. I would like to go to the feast. I'd like to see what's going on here. I'll try to escape later. You force your feet to move, your footsteps ringing loudly through the empty hall. Everything around you looks incredibly old, the walls made of crackling stone. With the clothes you're wearing, the note, and the architecture here, you almost feel like you've been transported back in time. The walk down the hall isn't long. As you approach the end of your trek, you can hear a smattering of voices from beyond a set of closed double doors. A lot of voices. Listening closer for a minute, they sound excited. Your heart races in your chest as you debate making a break for it. After a moment of standing still, frozen in indecision, you finally place your hands on the doors and push them open.
Ooh. I just want to go to a place like that. I just want to have a fancy feast in a cool Victorian Gothic cool place. I just want to do that.
The room goes silent as you enter. All around you are people of various ages, all dressed similarly, the same as you. As you stand in the doorway, trying to make sense of whatever this gathering of people is, the silence turns to hushed whispers. The new chosen is here.
Can you imagine being in her place?
One day I hope the Seeker will choose me.
You feel sick to your stomach. Words fail you as you feel all eyes watching your every move.
Sup, guys? You here for the concert?
Suddenly, someone stands from near the head of the long dining table. They begin to walk straight towards you.
Pretty.
Hello, I'm Dexter. He, him pronouns. I'm sorry that you have the misfortune of being here. I know this is really confusing for you. Come on, I'll take you to your seat. Before you can protest, Dexter turns around and begins to walk back towards the long center dining table. With so many eyes watching you, you don't think acting out would be the best idea right now. As you follow Dex, your eyes scan the room once again nervously. You notice two things immediately. First, there are 3 empty seats. One you assume is for you, one Dexter stood from, and one very ornate chair at the very head of the table. You also notice a familiar face sitting across the table from what you assume is your seat.
You! How dare you? You betray me! You betray me, Axel! This betrayal!
Axel is refusing to look at you. You think he might be the only person in the room who isn't staring at you. You reach the table and Dex gestures for you to sit, taking the seat to your right. You stare, daggers, at Axel as you take your seat, trying to ignore the many hushed whispers coming from your left. Your own voice is hushed as you try to speak to him, trying not to draw more attention to yourself than you already have.
Axel, what's...
Before you can finish your question, a different door swings open to the room. The room grows eerily silent as another person you don't recognize enters the room.
Ah, so our new chosen has finally arrived. Everyone, give our new guest a warm welcome.
Hey, sir. This is just a wild guess, just a shot out of the blue, but might you be a vampire?
I'm alright with that.
The hall around you suddenly bursts into loud cheers and applause, only quieting down when the man raises his glass.
My name is Bram. Bram Vespertine. I'm assuming you've read my note I left for you.
He gestures to Axel with his free hand.
You're already acquainted with my son, Axel, yes? No need for pleasantries there, then.
Next, he gestures to the man who led you to your seat.
This is my dearest bride, Dex, the love of my eternal life.
Dex, you don't look too happy about that. Blink twice if you need help. He gives you a look.
So, I'm sure you're just dying to know where you are, why you're here. Would you like me to explain, or your dear friend Axel? Axel looks extremely uncomfortable. Actually, I would like to know what this gentleman, this esteemed gentleman, has to say. Because Axel doesn't seem like he's talking too much, and I would be too busy screaming betrayal in his face for him to finish a sentence. Ah, I'm glad you asked. All that is going on here is a celebration of your sacrifice on behalf of our community's longevity. Isn't that right? Murmurs of agreement begin to stir behind you, silence turning once again to excitement. For you are the chosen martyr to give your life in order to protect ours. Under the light of the full moon, you will protect us all. I did not agree to this, sir! Axel! Isn't it just the greatest honor to sacrifice yourself for the good of others? The many people around you begin to cheer in agreement, calling out in praise. As sacrifice, I would like to nominate someone in my stead. How about that one other person who spoke up? Yeah, you. Why don't you do that? What I would give to be in your place. I think we should honor his request. I think we should honor that. That seems like a noble thing to do. You should be honored. I'll stay silent for now. Now then, that's enough drama for tonight. Come on, we should be celebrating. Bram snaps his fingers, and within an instant various people begin bringing in large plates of food. Oh. There's some sort of roasted meat, plenty of vegetables, what looks like some sort of soft cheese with crackers. It actually looks and smells fairly delicious. As the food is placed in the center of the table, Bram raises his glass high. To our new chosen. Hey, are you gonna let me eat that cheese? I like cheese. Cheers ring out throughout the dining hall. Bram sits in his extravagant seat at the head of the table, watching over as various people begin to help themselves to the feast. After everything that's just happened, you don't particularly feel hungry anymore. Says you, Espoir in the game. I'm gonna be munching on that cheese. Still, it's best to keep up your strength while you can. You serve yourself a very small portion of food and force yourself to eat. The meat is surprisingly tender and flavorful, everything tasting extremely fresh and delicious. Looking around you, it seems like Axel is just pushing a small serving of vegetables around on a plate. He still isn't meeting your gaze, and, like you, doesn't seem to be very hungry either. Dex is staring down into a full wine glass, swirling it slowly in his hand. Aww. Bram is sitting, smugly, at the head of the table, watching as the people further down the table eat this plentiful meal in front of you. It seems like you could talk to one of them if you'd like. Kinda wanna know what's going on with Dex. Dex, are you good? You good, Dex? You don't seem like you're good. That's an adorable dress, but you don't seem like you're very happy to be here. You don't particularly want to talk to Axel or Bram right now. The man sitting to your right seems nice enough, and is at least close enough that you can whisper. Dex seems to perk up as you speak to him, his gaze coming to meet yours. Hey, Dex, right? Yeah? What's up? Where's the, are you good, fam? Are you good? 'Cause you don't look like you're good. So you're Bram's bride. Dex opens his mouth to answer you, but Bram cuts in before he can say a word. Aren't I the luckiest to have someone so eternally young and beautiful as my bride? Dex has been my better half for about a year now. Isn't that right, my love? Dex looks very visibly irritated and annoyed at everything Bram is saying. For being his bride, Dex seems like he wants nothing to do with this man. I'm not your bride, you troglodyte. I'm a cisgender man. I have a rooster. He has a rooster. He owns a rooster. He is the proud owner of a rooster. And balls.
For the rooster. For the rooster to play with. Balls for the rooster to enrich their enclosure. With the rooster. Balls. Dexter! Watch your language at the dinner table. This is your last warning. Dexter stays quiet, but the smug look on his face does not fade. You get him, Dexter. You get him. How old are you? You better be of age, or Bram's gonna get these hands. Dex looks uncomfortable. I was supposed to be 23. Uh-oh. You feel uneasy. Oh yeah, they got pointed ears, so assuming he's a vampire. Aww. How long am I going to be here? Dex's face falls, looking obviously saddened at the question. Oof, buddy. You're from the university, aren't you? They're always from the university. Well, hey, if you have student loans, you don't have to worry about them anymore. He pauses. After tonight, you have 6 days. It looks like Dex wants to say more, but he closes his mouth and glances toward the head of the table. Your eyes follow where he's looking. Bram is listening intently to everything Dex is telling you. Dex glances back in your direction, giving you a look. You fall into an uncomfortable silence. That's probably enough talk for tonight. After a few minutes, Axel is the first to stand from his seat at the table. He hasn't eaten anything, yet he still asks Bram to be excused. Slowly, more and more people begin to leave. Once about half the people at the table leave, you take the opportunity to leave as well. As you begin to stand, Bram notices and perks up once more. Leaving so soon? Please, if you're tired, go rest. You have the room I have gifted you at your disposal. Relax while you can. Oh, and don't think about trying to leave. The woods are dangerous around here, you know? He gives a small wave of his fingers as you turn to leave. The walk back to the room you awoke in feels like it takes hours. The moment you enter the room, you turn to lock the door, only to find no lock on the inside. Great. With a sigh, you fall on your back onto the bed, staring up at the ceiling. There's too much to think about all at once. All you know is you have to find a way out of here. 6 days. 6 days and you'll be killed, sacrificed to something you don't know or understand. 6 days to plan your escape. 6 days to survive. 6 days to figure out why Axel betrayed you so. You're already planning as you curl up into the blankets, your eyes falling shut. It takes a long time for your heart rate to slow, for your body to fall still and finally relax. Eventually, you manage to fall asleep. Ah! You wake to the sound of someone knocking on your door. It takes you a moment to scramble out of bed, checking yourself in the mirror to make sure you're presentable. Just a minute! You don't want to open the door. You procrastinate by adjusting your clothing one more time before finally moving to the door and opening it. Cute! Dexter is waiting just outside your room, rocking on his heels. Hey there, Espoir. You doing okay, buddy? I know this is an adjustment. I'm here if you need somebody to talk to, but no pressure. Tell me about yourself. Me? I'm from the university too. I didn't really know what I was doing with my time there. I kinda took classes just to take them. I like industrial and groove metal. I like elephant shrews. My favorite color is slime green. I hate being here. I just want to go home. A loud, deep bell chimes somewhere deeper in the cathedral. Dex deflates slightly at the sound. It's time for the sermon. Come on, I'll lead you to the chapel. Ooh, pretty, but also gonna be the final resting place. As you enter into the cathedral's main chamber, you're struck with awe for the large works of stained glass around you. The room is beautiful, no matter how little you want to be here. Dex leads you down the rows of pews, where various people have already taken their seats.
There's not as many people as there were at the dinner, but still a sizable amount of people. Many have their heads bowed, hands gathered in prayer. You're instructed to sit at one of the pews in the front row. Once you sit, Dex moves to stand up next to the pulpit. Looking around, Axel is nowhere to be seen. Oh dear. After a short moment, Bram enters the room from a different doorway, stalking slowly up to the pulpit to stand beside Dexter. Good morning, my loyal followers. As our chosen has arrived, I will once again be holding service today. Bram locks eyes with you, smirking as he gestures with his hands. For we could all use a reminder on why she must be sacrificed, yes? The reason being, of course, the plague. Yes, the plague! The horrible plague! Death, destruction, ruin! I have seen it all firsthand, bodies falling all around me, one after another. No salvation, no hope, only illness, grief, and eternal death. Death seems to usually be eternal, but I guess since he's a vampire, it's not. I had even contracted this plague. Oh, the suffering it caused. Pain unlike any other. Fatigue, slowly withering away in your own body until the light leaves your eyes. The plague was cruel, merciless. It did not care who you were, what you had done in your life. Should you contract it, you would surely die. There I was, laying to die in this very cathedral, staring up at the full moon, withering, awaiting my own death. Yet I did not die. Instead, I found salvation. Under the full moon, a figure came to me, and with their blood I found ascension. This pure gift enables me to protect each and every one of you, my beloved family. Under my watchful eye, I keep us all safe from the cruelty that lies outside of this forest. Thus, our sacrificial lamb must give her life for ours, to embolden my will and honor the fateful night of my ascension. With her life, all will be well. I find some cracks in your logic, sir. I find that most of what you're saying might be a bit self-indulgent. Thank you for playing our demo. I'm very happy with it. What if I stay silent? You decide not to push it, staring out the window once again. Axel, what if I try to escape? What you gonna do? What you gonna do if I try to escape? Your fear overcomes you as Axel rummages under the seat. All you know is you need to get away. You quickly try the handle to the door, only to find it not opening. Your heart sinks as you realize you're trapped. There's gotta be a way to open the door. There's gotta be. That's a safety... Well, it is an old car. Axel glances up at you as he hears you struggle with the car door. He doesn't look so nervous anymore, just upset. Spa, I don't want to hurt you, so please don't make this any harder than it has to be. No, I try and stop him, no. Fluff this. No matter what Axel has planned under his seat, it isn't good, and you're not going to let this happen. What do you think you're doing? You begin to reach for your bag, thinking of the knife you had packed earlier. Oh, yeah. Before you can grab it, Axel swiftly reaches out and grabs your wrist. Oh. Espoir, calm down, please. F no. I'm not going to calm down. You drove me to the middle of nowhere, and now you're talking about how you're sorry you have to do something to me? I fluffin' trusted you, Axel. I trusted you. Axel flinches at your words, his expression turning sour. You think I want to do this? Do what? What the fluff are you talking about? Axel says nothing, instead just rustling under his seat with his free hand once again. He pulls out what looks like a little rag as you struggle to get away from his iron grip. Axel, let me go! Before you can react, he presses the rag to your nose and mouth. It's damp and has an overwhelmingly sweet scent to it. Okay, what if I, instead of going to the feast, what if I try to escape? What you gonna do? Fluff whatever the note said. You're getting out of here. Slowly, you tiptoe down the hall, trying to be as quiet as you can. The walls here are old, aged to the point of crackling. At the end of the hall, you turn left and find two sets of large wooden double doors parallel to each other. Looking through the windows beside them, you realize the door to your right would give you a clear shot into the woods. You quietly open one of the large doors, just enough for you to slip outside, pulling it shut once you're finally free. The air is cool and crisp, biting at your nose as you breathe. What dangerous stuff is in this forest? Examining your surroundings, you see no indication of a road here. Listening as you walk towards the tall trees enveloping the cathedral, you hear no cars or people. Only the sound of the wind through the leaves and soft cicada chirps can be heard. Your hope is to somehow hit a road to follow back to civilization. These woods are dark, despite the nearly full moon above. The trees are so dense, it's hard to see where you're going. The deeper into the woods you get, the more the darkness wears down on your mind. You swear some of the knots in these trees' trunks look like eyes. Eep! A horrid crunch reverberates off the trees. You're struck with a sudden bone-shattering pain coming from your leg. Ooh! You look down, your stomach twisting with nausea as the sight of your now mangled leg comes into view. Your body betrays you, plummeting straight down into the mossy forest floor. Ouch! Really? A bear trap? Really? A bear trap? They littered the woods with bear traps. It makes sense to you why nobody had been guarding the halls to prevent you from leaving. Sweat drips from your brow. Suddenly, you feel 10 times hotter than you did moments ago. Anxiety pulls at your chest. Your eyes dart around the forest. Eyes. Eyes. Watching you. The trees are watching you. A man is watching you, not a man! Oh no! Standing at the edge of the tree line, he has a fistful of a much shorter person's hair and is dragging them helplessly towards you. No, no. Look who didn't show up to dinner. That's quite rude, you know. He tosses the shorter person onto the ground with a hard thunk. Hey! You leave Dex out of this. What did I tell you, Dexter? That's the second one this year alone. You will watch the next one. Do not make me tell you another time, or you will lose privileges. The one called Dexter doesn't meet the man's cold glare. Instead, he's looking at you, a hand covering his mouth. You can tell by the look on his face that he feels sick. Bram, I'm sorry. We don't have to do this. We could just open the bear trap and let her go. No, I'm rather excited for this special feast tonight. Oh no! The man kneels down to be at your level. He shoves the side of your head into the dirt. A hand tenderly caresses your afflicted leg, then lifts to his mouth. He tastes your blood. I will savor you tonight. To your throat comes his mouth. You feel his lips kiss at the flesh below them. You watch as Dexter's face contorts into something comparable to dread. His body is trembling, much like yours. Every last drop. Oh no! Without a second thought, you feel the large man's teeth sink straight into your throat. Your body gags, hot tears spill down your cheeks. One of your hands come up to push him away, but he doesn't stop. Once your body no longer has the will to struggle, his teeth retract and he begins to suck. It's gentle. You can feel your blood pooling onto the moss below you while the man above you now cradles you to his chest and drains you. The pain dulls, and soon after, it all goes dark. How rude. How absolutely rude. But then again, I guess I was rude for not going to a party, but, you know, that was still pretty rude. Axel, you got some splaining to do. Axel doesn't speak for a moment. The room is uncomfortably silent. Well, go on then, Axel. Explain for us what you have done. Axel flinches, still refusing to meet your gaze. Something is very, very wrong here. I brought you here for the safety of my family. I chose you to protect us. Under the light of the full moon, your sacrifice will protect us all. I'm sorry, Espoir. You're here to die.
See, that wasn't so hard, now was it? Last time I stayed silent. What if I refused to play along? Like, no, thank you. No, thank you. You aren't just going to go along with this. You stand from your seat, staring directly at the man at the end of the table. Fluff this. This isn't funny anymore. I'm not playing along with your stupid joke or whatever this is. I want to go back home. I suggest you reconsider your language and your tone. This is supposed to be a celebration. Sit down. No. I will not, sir. I will not.
You refuse to sit down. Bram stands as well, scowling at you. He slowly stalks to stand next to you, looking you once over.
Wrong answer.
In one quick movement, two things happen. First, Bram throws his wineglass to the floor, shattering it instantly. You didn't need to do that. His other hand suddenly grasps at your neck, squeezing tightly as he begins to lift you into the air. You sputter and cough, struggling for breath. Your hands come up to claw at his hand, but his grip does not waver.
You want to ruin the celebration. Fine, no dinner for you then. I wasn't gonna eat anyway.
Your eyes go wide as he begins to walk, carrying you by your neck and your neck alone. You continue to struggle, trying desperately to do anything to get air. Your vision begins to go hazy as you feel your lungs burning in your chest. Bram continues to walk at a horribly slow pace. You're unsure where he's taking you. Your head races as you imagine all the things he could do to you. They already talked about killing you. What if he just ends your life now? Panic sets in as your body begins to get tired, black hovering at the edges of your vision. Suddenly, Bram opens a door and throws you inside. Your back slams against the wall, piercing pain shooting up your spine. Ooh. You immediately cough and gasp for air, breathing frantically as Bram stands in the doorway.
Learn to behave.
No! Bram slams the door shut, and you hear a click. All you are left to is the sound of your own frantic breaths. It takes you a minute to gather the courage to get up and check the door. Your neck and back ache with pain, and you still feel dizzy from nearly suffocating. The door is locked. You move to sit down on your bed, frantic breaths turning quickly into soft sobs. You're stuck here now. After a while, you decide to lie down. Surprisingly, it doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. Maybe when you wake up, this nightmare will be over.
Alright, what's the deal with Axel? What's going on with him?
Axel tries his best. Bram puts a lot of pressure on him. This whole cult does. He doesn't get to have friends because they all end up here. No matter how much he likes them.
Tell me about Bram.
Bram isn't a nice guy, obviously. You should seriously try to avoid him if you can. Everyone here's brainwashed into loving him. They'll do anything if it makes him happy. He says that he's Axel's dad, but there's something off about that, because he's ancient. Surely he can't. You know.
Would you like me to explain, or your dear friend Axel? You know what? I heard it from you. I don't care. You're fluffed. You're fluffed like the fluffiest pillow. Dexter, my love, be quiet. Be quiet? How about you go fluff yourself, my love? Now, Dex, you're spoiling our dinner. Nobody asks for you to speak up on this matter, darling. Don't start with me. Oh, they're bickering like a married couple. Oh, it's so cute, but be nice if both parties were more willing. That's not cool. Bram, that's not cool. Listen,
Axel fluffed you, and my husband is going to fluff you. He's going to use your body as his own personal juice box.
I'm sorry, what?
Bram is a vampire. He forced Axel to bring you to this place so he can feed on you, because he's a butthole. You're going to die here, and everyone around us thinks this is all hunky-dory. Isn't that right, love? That's enough, Dexter! Ahem. My bride here is simply confused. Had a little too much wine waiting for your arrival, perhaps.
Dex looks defeated. He slowly sits back down in his seat, staring at an untouched wine glass in front of him.
What truly is going on here is a celebration of your sacrifice on behalf of our community's longevity. Isn't that right?
Murmurs of agreement begin to stir behind you, silence turning once again to excitement.
For you are the chosen martyr to give your life in order to protect ours. Under the light of the full moon, you will protect us all.
Will I now? Is this some kind of weird vampire LARP?
Live action role playing.
A live action vampire role-playing game, please. Why not me? I want to do that so badly.
What is a LARP?
I wish. All right. I was hoping there would be more about LARPing. Another ending is where you teach Bram what LARPing is and he gets really into it. Alright, sitting at the table, I talked to Dex, so let's see what Axel has to say. Axel!
Despite everything that's happened, the only person you really know here is Axel. You lean a bit closer, speaking in a low volume while still loud enough for him to hear. Axel? Axel perks up, looking to you for a quick second, before looking away once more. He seems just as nervous as he was in the car. Looks like you've got his attention, though.
How long am I going to be here?
Axel fidgets with his fork, pushing around untouched food on his plate as he hesitates to answer. I think the full moon is in 6 days. On the night of the full moon, that's when Bram will... Axel trails off, returning to fidgeting with his food. 6 days? On one hand, you're glad you're not being kidnapped forever, but only 6 days until you're supposed to die? You need to get out of here. It's going to take some quick thinking, but you'll think of something.
What about the concert? Oh.
Axel looks even more heartbroken at the mention of the concert. I never even bought tickets. You just believed me. It was just a way to get you in my car.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me! The betrayal!
It stings how bluntly he's speaking to you.
You were in line to be my best friend. Oh, if there's one thing I hate, it's betrayal.
His voice sounds distraught, and his eyes are locked on his plate. Why bring you here if it's bringing him such distress? You can't make heads or tails of his reasoning. The one place he does keep glancing is at the head of the table, towards Bram. You get the feeling he can't speak freely right now.
Why did you choose me? Yeah, is it because you like me?
Axel's face grows a shade redder as you ask him why. That's, because you tried to be my friend. Bram seems to perk up at the end of the table at Axel's words. He seems pleased. I don't make friends, Espoir. I find sacrifices. That's my role. That's what I'm good for.
He used his pretty face for evil!
All that I cause by making friends is more suffering and pain. Axel glances up across the table for a moment, but he's not looking at you.
Oh.
Looking to your right, Dex looks like he's about to crush his wine glass with how hard he's gripping it.
Oh. You'll have to ask about that later. Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay, I talked to Axel, I talked to Dex. What does Bram have to say about all this, sir? Sir, you seem to be the head honcho around here. Looking down towards the end of the table, Bram is smiling directly at you. It might be good to at least try and be friendly to the man directly threatening to kill you. Before you can speak up, Bram notices you staring back at him. Did you need something, my chosen? How long am I gonna be here? Bram hums as he thinks, tapping a finger or two against his chin for a moment. I do believe the moon will be full on your 6th night here. 6 days. Then you shall protect us. Protect you from what? Bram gives a small chuckle, smiling wide at your interest. Don't worry your sweet little head about that. Tomorrow I shall host a sermon where all will be revealed to you. For tonight, feast. Enjoy your time here, while you can. I'm gonna push you into some sunlight, sir. A shudder runs down your spine. That wasn't the answer you were looking for. How old are you, anyways? Bram gives a curt smile. He doesn't seem too affected by your question. You wonder how many people have asked him this question before you, and how many have lived to tell the tale. It's been so long, the years just slip past me now. A few centuries now, perhaps. Does it really matter when I look this good? You look alright. The man begins to twirl a strand of hair around his finger. Is he flirting with you? Now, sir, you are flirting with the most insane flirter. I mean, maybe that'll ease up on Dex a little bit. Looking to your right, Dex looks like he's about to crush his wine glass with how hard he's gripping it. What if I wanted to become your wife instead? Don't you laugh at me. I haven't proposed to you yet because I was saving that for Axel. But I was betrayed! Bram's eyebrows raise in surprise, followed by a laugh that almost makes you regret asking. I'm sorry. What makes you special? You're just some nobody, some random lowlife Axel found and brought to me for the sole reason of killing. If you'd like to become my bride, you'll have to truly impress me, my dear chosen. Dex is glaring daggers at you. He isn't saying anything, but he clearly looks upset at your questioning. Dex! Dex, if I become his bride, that'll ease up on you. You'll have to spend less time with this guy. Unless there's something I'm not getting here. And we can be wife friends. Polyamorous relationship. We could be friends.
Nope.
You fall into an uncomfortable silence. That's probably enough talk for tonight. Hi, so I know we got off on the wrong foot, but I just wanted to check in on you. Maybe answer some questions if you have any. I also had some advice for you. Get off of Bram's pecker. I will kill you. Okay! I didn't know you were so protective of the person you didn't seem to be in love with. I'm not fluffing around. Trust me. It'd be way better that way than to be stuck with him forever. He's incapable of loving anyone other than himself, so don't get your hopes up. Are you protecting me or protecting your relationship, Dex? Because whatever you want, I'll help you do it. Why should I stay away from him? Bram is heartless. He's cruel, shallow, and kind of stupid. Huh! The best combination. All I can do is just beg you to stay away. He's not going to fall in love with you. You're just going to get hurt and then thrown away like garbage. Not that you are garbage, but God. Just don't try to fluff him, okay? Like the sexual way and also the betraying way, because I don't think either way is gonna go your way, okay? What if I say, what makes you think I'd stay away from him? I could replace you as his bride. Ooh, that doesn't sound like it's gonna go down. Oh, you think you're so fluffing cute, don't you? Bram would never replace me. You're making yourself look stupid. You won't stop me.
Excuse me? There's a long pause as Dex thinks. You know what? Trying to get through that thick skull of yours actually has made me pretty hungry. I think I'll just claim you for myself and thank Bram for the takeout later. Oh no! You feel the pressure first before you realize what's happening. Hands come around your throat, squeezing with an iron grasp. Underneath Dex's palms, you're being crushed. Oh no! You feel your legs give out from below you as Dexter presses his weight onto you. Both of your bodies topple onto the cold floor of your not-so-familiar room. He straddles your waist, his hands never leaving your throat. The sides of your vision begin to darken as your body fights against him. The desperation of hot air soon turns to clouded thoughts. Right as you think it's about to be over, when your fingers turn numb and you can no longer hold your eyelids open, it feels as if warm shards of glass are shot straight into the side of your throat. Instinctively, you try to gasp, but Dexter isn't letting you breathe. He bit you, and is now sucking at your throat, viciously, as if you're the only thing he's ever wanted. Eep! You feel him panting against your neck as the last signs of life drain from your unmoving body. It's cold. Well, I deserve that. I was being rude. I deserve that. I fully understand. I'm sorry that I messed with your vampire Kool-Aid that is Bram. Although I think in that instant, I became the vampire Kool-Aid. What if I say, back off? I'm trying to help you. Just do yourself a favor and pretend he doesn't exist. Cool? Cool. Yay, I got all the endings. Hey, you're not a bear, a bride's wrath, and cult initiate. Oh dear. Well, that's nice. Captured by a vampire, got 6 days to live. There's no reasoning with him, and he's got a very uppity bride. I'm liking these odds. Well, that was The Eyes Embrace, and this is a game that will be meant for adults, so in the future, keep that in mind. But I am very excited to see where this story goes, and still mad about all that betrayal, Axel. I don't know if you know this. I'm upset about that betrayal. But I'd love to know what you think in the comments. But as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself. Have a great night, and remember, there is always hope. And if your friend says he bought tickets for you, make him send a text of those tickets.